CM Punk started the show. He ups on the mic and thanks John Cena. Then Punk says he wants Drew McIntyre and wants Pierce to come out and lift Drew's suspension. Pierce doesn't show up, but Seth Rollins does. Seth hops on the mic and says the one thing he can't wrap his head around is that Punk did the exact thing he told him not to do. It eventually leads to Seth telling Punk, as soon as you're clear to wrestle, I'm gonna put you right back on the shelf. Then we would get a one-on-one match, Jey Uso versus Chad Gable. Later on in the match, while Chad has Jey in an ankle lock, the lights would start going out, allowing Jey to hit a spear, picking up the win. Then Jey would run up the ramp. Then she would appear again and would hand the announcers a box, again. Then we would get a one-on-one match, Pete Dunne versus Bronson Reed. Eventually Bronson Reed would pick up the win. But after the match, Sheamus would come down to the ring and would help Dunne take out Reed. But then Dunne would walk away from Sheamus. Sami Zayn comes down to the ring. He ups on the mic but would get interrupted by Braun Breaker. He says that he's been thinking and then would spear Sami. Then we would get a six-man tag team match, Awesome Truth and Braun Strowman versus the Judgment Day. Later on in the match, Finn would hit his finish and would pick up the win for his team. Then we would get another dope-ass Bo Dallas promo. I'd recommend to go watch it like the other ones. Then we would get a one-on-one match, Dragunov versus Braun Breaker. Later on in the match, Breaker would disqualify himself by throwing a chair at Dragunov. Then Sami would come down to the ring and then would save Dragunov from Breaker, until Breaker would send Sami and Dragunov over the announcer's table. Then we would get a six-woman tag team match, Damage Control versus Carter and Chance and Lyra. Eventually Damage Control would pick up the win, but after the match, Stark, Baszler, and Sonya would come out of nowhere and would attack Damage Control. Then we would get a mixed tag team match, Rey and Vega versus Dom and Liv. Eventually Dom would hit a frog splash and would pick up the win for his team. And then while Liv and Dom are celebrating, Rhea Ripley would return, sending Liv running away. Then Dom would try to hug Rhea, but she would walk away. Raw was alright.